We are going to begin with Unit 3 on math from iReady. So you did a very good job with the review we did recently about math Unit 2. And now we're ready for Unit 3. I know some of you know about addition and subtraction. So this lesson is about addition, and we're going to take step by step on different ways of making a combination of 5. So I'm going to give you a 5 frame, and it's going to look like this. And you're going to have this in your class as well, and it's also going to help you to practice and practice and practice. One of the suggestions was to use counters, which we will use in the class, but it also suggested pennies. And since we already did a lesson on pennies in this video about a month or two ago, it's not bad to go back to pennies and use it for addition. So this lesson is going to be on addition. We're going to use 2 different ways of making this work for you for addition. Those of you who know how to add, this is just a review very quickly, very briefly. But for those of you who have never done addition, this is the beginning. This is where you start after we did numbers 0 through 5. Okay? So I'm going to lower my camera so that you can see the template that we have. Okay, this is the template. And I'm placing it down so that you can see the 5 frames. So the 5 frames has been going on for quite some time. I would say more than 10 years. And some of them have dots, some of them don't, and this one doesn't. So they're making it easier now because it used to be a 10 frame, and now we're putting it in a 5 frame so that you can get a little easy with it. So I'm using my pennies, which you see right here, and we're going to make a combination of 5. So I'm going to start with 1, right? 1, and then whichever one is missing is going to complete for 5. So 1 and 4 makes 5. 1 and 4 makes 5. How do I know? Because it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why. So I know that 1 and 4 makes 5. Another way to do it is the opposite way. So I'm going to put 4 and 1. Here's the 1, here's the 4. Okay, so 4 and 1 makes 5. How do I know that? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pennies. That's how I know. So 1 and 4 makes 5. 4 and 1 makes 5. What is another way? Well, we can do 2. And whatever's missing is what's going to complete 5. So 2 and 3. 2 and 3 makes 5. But also 3 and 2 makes 5. So 2 and 3 makes 5. 3 and 2 makes 5 as well. So those are your different combinations of 5. I wanted to use this also not just for the sums of 5, but also for the sums of 4 and 3 and 2. So now we're going to go backwards, and we're going to use for number 4 as the sum. So here we go. 1 and 3 makes 4. Again, 1 and 3 makes 4. How do I know? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pennies. What is another way? Well, another way would be 2 and 2. 2 and 2 makes 4. I know this because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. See? So we have 1 and 3, or I can do it this way if you want to see it better. 1 and 3, 2 and 2. Now I'm going to do this one, 3 and 1. So 3 and 1 makes 4. I know this because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 2 makes 4. I know this because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the combinations of 4. For the sum of 4, these are the ways that I can make it. 1 and 3, 2 and 2, 3 and 1. Now let's go with 3. I did 5, I did 4, now I'm going to do 3. 3, I'm going to put this. 1 and 2 is 3. I know this because it's 1, 2, 3. See? Now I'm going to put 2 here and 1 over here. You see that's a different combination of 3? Now I'll say 1, 2, 3. So 2 and 1 makes 3. Are there other different ways to do it? Absolutely. But these are the ones that we're going to be doing for now. Now let's go with 2. Well, 2 is very easy. There you go. 1 and 1 makes what? 2. I know this because it's 1, 2. So these are the ones that we're going to be doing for this unit for addition. And it's going to be on your 5-frame work mat. And this is also in your workbook. And you can use counters, but I would prefer pennies because we are learning how to use pennies. Now, there is another work mat that looks like this. This one is called Tell a Story Problem Activity. Now this involves all of the numbers from 1 through 5. So you have 1, you have 2, you have 3, you have 4, and the sum is 5. Okay. So now, with this activity sheet, we're going to do something a little different. You see that the frame is still here, and we're using a 5-frame. But then you see these lines. This line is for the sum, the add-in. Then you say and, which is the plus. Then you say add-in. And then is supposed to be the equal sign, and this is the sum. So let me give you an example. I'm going to use a dry erase marker because this one's very little. So I'm going to make one here, and I'm going to make two here. You see that I put the cap on the marker and I have my tissue here. So now what do? Well, I have to find out, how do I write these numbers? Well, this is how you write 1. So if this one says 1, that add-in goes here. So now I'm going to put 1. You see? 1 plus, or and, how many dots? Very good. 2. So now I'm going to write a 2. This is how you write a 2. Okay? Around and down and out you go. That's the way to make a 2. Now you say 1 plus 2, or 1 and 2, is, how many are the dots? So you say 1, 2, 3, right? So I'm going to write a 3. If you don't know how to make a 3, that is 3. Okay, so then you write 3. Around and around, just like a bee, that's the way to make a 3. And this is how it's supposed to look like when you're telling a story, problem, activity. So usually the teacher will be reading the story and you will be drawing the dots and making the numbers. So let's go to another activity, another one. This one, we're going to use 2. I'm going to make 2 first and 2 after. So, how do I write a 2, Mr. Rodriguez? This is how you make a 2. So you're going to make this number 2 times. So, you go 1, 2. Around and down and out you go. That's the way to make a 2. 1, 2. And around and down and out you go. That's the way to make a 2. So, 2 and 2 is, and then you count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is around and down and out you, down and across and down once more. That's the way to make a 4. So it's supposed to make this 4. See? Down and across and down once more. That's the way to make a 4. Down and across and down once more. That's the way to make a 4. So now you did 2 of them. You did 1 and 2 is 3. You did 2 and 2 is 4. Now let's go to the last one. Another one that you can do is put 3, right? Now write a 3. Around and around, just like a bee, that's the way to make a 3. If you don't remember, here it is. Okay. Now, I'm going to put the other dots. So now, I have to make 2. Okay? Because I had 3 first. So around and down and out you go. That's the way to make a 2. Now I have my frame and the number sentence, or what we're going to call equation. So 3 and 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. 5. How do you make a 5? This is how you make a 5. Short neck, belly fat. Number 5, wears a hat. Again, short neck, belly fat. Number 5, wears a hat. And here it goes. Okay, so this is the other activity or number sentence that we wanted to do for the last row of 5 frame. So we have 1 and 2 is 3, 2 and 2 is 4, and 3 and 2 is 5. Now if you notice, I kept the pattern right here, where the second add-in is always a 2. That could happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happened this time. So you can take it, you can erase it with your tissue, and you can do another one. Okay? You have to make sure that when you press your tissue, you are erasing the numbers. So let's do another one. Let's do 4. All right. Down and across and down once more. That's the way to make a 4. And now I'm going to add the one that's missing. Down you run, and 1 is done. So 4 and 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. 4 and 1 is 5. Now we're going to do another one. We're going to start with 2. So here we go. Around and down and out you go. That's the way to make a 2. And I'm going to put another dot here. So now, down you run, and 1 is done. You see? 2 and 1 is 1, 2. Yes, 3. Very good. See it? That's how we do this activity. These are the activities that we're going to be doing this week, and you can continue to practice it until we start going into the symbols of plus and equals. Now, here goes the last one. I wanted to do the last one here, and I put 3 dots. So I'm going to put a 3. Here you go. You see? And now I'm going to put 1 dot. And now you say 3 and 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how you do it. 3 and 1 is 4. Did you notice I made another pattern? Yeah, I did all of them 1 in the second add-in. You practice, and if you continue to practice, you will become a very, very smart person when it comes to understanding math, especially addition. This unit number 3 will also bring addition and subtraction and a little bit about shapes. So remember, smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.